One of the very interesting questions I think that we get a lot when we're presenting to faculty and that we've read a lot about is the whole issue of learning styles in the online environment. And to some degree, I'm going to say something that's probably a little outrageous, but to some degree, I think that there's like too much being made of the whole issue of learning styles online. And the reason I say that is that a well designed online class that incorporates a variety of activity and a variety of ways of approaching the content really sort of cuts across the whole learning style issue. It doesn't nullify it, but at varying points in the course, different learning styles are going to be tapped if there's enough variety. And so I think that getting worried about designing classes specifically to address learning styles and all of that is a bit overblown. And I don't know how you feel about that, Keith.
I agree with you 100%. I really sometimes get, and this is going to sound just like you did, I get tired of hearing about learning styles because, again, if a course is well designed, if it's designed in a way that addresses a lot of those issues that we deal with, you don't need to worry about learning styles. Uh, because you're already bombarding them with so many things that they can pick and choose, or they can pick their way through what you're doing, what you're saying. But the learning styles are, it's in text, it's in audio, it's in video, it's in it's in print for them to look at, and you send them a CD or a DVD. So we address all those learning styles, or we hit most of them. And I really don't know. I really am not sure that learning styles is so critical, because it's a proven fact that if you stretch somebody and they're wanting to learn, you stretch somebody beyond their normal style of learning, they learn better.
Exactly.
If you push them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And go ahead and say what you were saying. But if you push them or take them out of their comfort zone, they're going to learn better and retain it longer.
You're absolutely right. Because learning styles, the whole issue of learning styles is that it is their preferred way of learning, but that doesn't mean that they're incapable of learning using the other learning styles. And a lot of the research on learning styles has shown, just as you were saying, that if you push people to use some of the other modes of learning, that they become a more well-rounded learner and actually do a whole lot better overall academically. So again, I think that the whole issue, like you, is a bit overblown, that the idea really would be to incorporate a lot of variety. You talked about using some audio, using some video, and obviously our technologies have advanced to the point where we can do that a whole lot more. We can send people to YouTube or incorporate YouTube videos in our courses. We can use Audacity to create little audio files that we can embed in the course. We can build wikis, and in so doing, we tap a lot of the kinesthetic kinds of learning style, in that people have to actually search online for material and then import it into a wiki and begin to build that collaborative web page. So there are so many ways now that we can tap those various learning styles, that the problem lies in, I think, people who are relying on read and discuss kinds of courses and are not expanding beyond that to include other kinds of technologies or other ways of working.
I agree 1,000%. And one of the schools I'm working with now has taken the philosophy that they're going to approach the student with all those things. The student gets a DVD. The student gets an electronic text and a printed text. The student has to watch videos and listen to audio files. And there's discussion boards and projects they have to work on. And they're just immersed in the whole learning process. And at the beginning, if they're not used to that type of process, it's a little overwhelming. But once they get immersed in it, and they find that it's just so dynamic and so uh, energizing and so exciting to be involved in something like that. I mean, it's a wonderful experience and something that we don't do well in the face-to-face classroom. In an online environment, we have that opportunity.